This is Jean Garcia reporting from MNCN. Seattle is still recovering from a terrifying incident. 16-year-old Graham Holt created havoc after taking a shot of the illegal substance Promicin. By inspiring an almost religious devotion in people, he was able to gain followers to carry out his every whim. Holt's ability started at his high school, where he convinced students and faculty to create this barricade to keep out authorities. It wasn't long before Graham took over Seattle's mass media, too.
I mean, nobody wants to admit that they lost control like that, but we did.
Before it was over, Holt had police arresting federal agents. And there are reports that he had set up some sort of assimilation camp to convert citizens into supporters.
I don't know how far it would have gone if it wasn't for that Jordan Collier.
One of the original 4,400, Jordan Collier apparently has the capacity to strip Promicin users of their abilities. Onlookers say that Collier put his hands onto Holt's head, at which point his followers started to come to their senses.
You have to understand, we were all waking up from the effects of Holt's ability right then.
As Seattle continues to recover over the following days and weeks, important questions will need to be answered. Where is Jordan Collier? How did a teenager gain control over a major U.S. city? And most importantly, how do we keep this from happening again? For MNCN, I'm Jean Garcia.
Excuse me, Dr. Conley.
Yeah, who's that?
Ma'am, I'm going to need to ask you a few questions. Can you turn around for me, please?
You don't understand. He was only 4 years old and he was dying.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm going to need to pat you down. Turn around for me, please. Spread your legs apart, wide apart, wide apart. There you go. Hands on your head.
Hey.
Fingers laced together on top of your head, just like that. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand these rights as I've read them to you, ma'am?
Yes.
Watch out for needles! Don't run into anything with your bare hands. Get her up! Everybody up, people! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Up! Who's outside? Now, up! Any of you fine, upstanding citizens helping Jordan Collier to murder? Nobody's helping. No. You helping that whack job destroy the world? Is this your joint?
Hey, that's my place! Hey! Hey, what are you doing? Don't tear me!
Oh, look what we got here.
That ain't mine!
That ain't yours?
Somebody set me
Is
up!
this your place?
I don't have money for that! What are you talking? No! I don't go! No!
Homer Jeffords lives on the outskirts of Phoenix, Arizona, where he works as a computer programmer. When he returned home from work on Monday, he received the shock of his life. His house was burned down. Investigators think it was arson. Were you ever given any reason to believe that your neighbors didn't like you?
Last week I received an anonymous letter in the mail saying, "We know what you're injecting in there, Jeffords, and we want no freaks around here." I thought it was just some harmless kook. I never thought they'd torch my house. They must have seen me through my bathroom window injecting myself with insulin and thought it was something like Promicin. The only thing I know about Promicin is what I've heard on the news.
Arson detectives have determined that the fire was deliberately set. The police investigating the incident have not been able to identify a suspect. Neighbors claim to have seen nothing unusual prior to the fire breaking out.
Up to now, I've been trying to stay out of the whole Promicin controversy, but now I think these guys need to realize that it's out there. People are taking it, and it can lead to good things, can't it? I mean, as opposed to burning down houses, it's just wrong, no matter what.
It's a tragic story. Jeffords plans to move in with his mother while he settles with his insurance company. After that, he says he's not sure if he'll remain in the Phoenix area or not. This is just one item of a continuing series of violence against perceived Promicin use. The anti-Promicin faction has been striking out all over the country with similar results. PromicinPower.com will bring you the latest in news and updates as they happen.
Here in the Ozarks, we have a way of life unique to the United States. We believe in God. We believe in keeping close to the nature and beauty that surrounds us. We believe in hard work, but we don't believe in Promicin. Stone Hollow, we're Promicin free, and we aim to keep it that way. Paid for by Stone Hollow citizens for natural living.
Although it looks barren and uninhabited now, at night, this desert is prime coyote territory. Not the four-legged kind, but rather those human mercenaries that smuggle illegal immigrants across the border. Lukeville, Arizona is a notoriously hot crossing point into the U.S., and coyotes, as they are known, can make a killing working this area. There's an old adage among U.S. Border Patrols that for every one illegal they catch, there's 3 more that they don't. But now that ratio is even more grim, with Lukeville Border Patrol busts down a whopping 88% in the last month. And, if local legend is to be believed, it's all thanks to one person, affectionately known across the border as Mama Oso, or Mama Bear.
They've got 2 areas coming by, kind of converges into a V.
Ed Carver is a Border Patrol agent here in Lukeville.
Mama Bear, Papa Bear. Hell, could have been Goldilocks taking these people across for all we know. But something out there is scrambling our thermal imagers.
A thermal imaging camera uses the infrared segment of the electromagnetic spectrum. Warm objects appear as warmer colors, like this. But when Mama Oso is around, Border Patrol cameras see something like this. And sometimes they actually break.
See, it's broken right here. You got this lens right here. But they're all fried to hell.
And these weren't due to projectiles or bullets of some kind?
No way.
So, what do you think could have done this?
Mr. Nyland, I'm really not sure.
Perhaps someone with 4,400 abilities?
I suppose that's a possibility.
Being smuggled across the border by a coyote is no easy task. Many immigrants that survive the initial crossing are abandoned by their coyotes at the first signs of trouble. Still, others are blackmailed into handing over more money once they have arrived. But Mama Oso is not your average coyote. Like her animal kingdom namesake, this Mama Bear is fiercely protective of her cubs' safety, boasting a near 100% success rate at a price that's a fraction of the going cost, all of which make Mama Oso a folk hero in Sonoita, Mexico. If the folks there know the secret of Mama Oso's success, they're sure not telling. Not one single resident was willing to speak on camera about her.
No quiero ofenderla, no quiero hablar contigo.
If Mama Oso does indeed exist, are her abilities the result of fairy tale magic, or perhaps chemicals? And how are already overtaxed Border Patrol supposed to deal with her possible extra-human abilities? For a nation gripped by a growing Promicin epidemic, this tale's happily ever after may be a long time coming. For MNCN, I'm Skip Nyland, reporting.
What do you mean if? We are at war. Those who distribute Promicin, those who use Promicin, those who give aid and comfort to those releasing this plague, they are the enemy. This substance, harvested from the 4,400, has killed thousands, and it will kill thousands more. And if our enemies are allowed to use the sinister powers bestowed upon them by Promicin, then those of us who have remained true to humanity, those of us who are truly human, are doomed. This is a war for the human race. This is a war with no neutral ground. You're either Promicin free, or you are the enemy.
Look, I want to get these people off the streets as much as the other guy. But the American public needs to realize that we have to observe due process. This isn't Gitmo. These aren't foreigners. They're American citizens. Sure, some small-town public defender might let us hold on to a few of them at first, but a lot of them are going to have sharks. And this is Jordan Collier we're talking about here. If we don't stick to the U.S. Constitution, then we're just giving this menace a revolving door. So to make this country safe again, to put away these Promicin users, we have to start playing by the book, and that's as clear as I can get.
These are the stakes. To keep a world in which all of us can live as we are, or go into the Promicin darkness. Tell your elected officials to ban Promicin.
Absolutely. We need to pass emergency legislation to stop the spread. Promicin is a dangerous substance which has not been approved by the FDA, and clearly more than one vial is intent to distribute. But I think we're headed for a slippery slope when it comes to simple possession. What some of my colleagues are suggesting poses a serious threat to our Constitution. Where do we draw the line? What about the people that have already taken it, whose bodies are now producing Promicin? Do we throw them all in jail after the fact? Do we randomly test millions of people for it?
So you're saying that you're pro-Promicin?
No, look, that is not what I'm saying. Yes, it's dangerous. People are dying. It needs to be controlled. But I think we better take a step back and take a good look at the implications on our civil liberties before it's too late. Good afternoon.
Wait, one more question.
And the reckless policies of the People's House have not only endangered our youth, but they have threatened the very future of India itself. By passing a bill outlawing travel to and from the United States of America, we safeguard our children. We protect ourselves from the terrorist actions of Jordan Collier and the men who come under his sigil. Let me speak for a moment to our children, to the ones in our universities, to the ones working towards a brighter future. Do not succumb to the lies of Promicin. Do not waver in your path. There are those who contend that Promicin offers you a chance to become an avatara. They are wrong. You will not become like Vishnu or Rama. You will die. Taking Promicin is adharma. It is against our nature. It is against Bhagawan. If you survive, you will be cast out. You will become unclean. Beware of the lies of Promicin. Thank you. Thank you. And may India stand tall in this time of uncertainty.
Promicin is the most divisive issue this country has faced since the Civil War. There are those who believe this substance is the key to humankind's survival. There are those who believe Promicin is the first step towards sealing our doom. No one in this country is blasé about Promicin, and proponents of all sides are passionate in their convictions. But whether you believe it to be sacrament or sacrilege, the fact is that Promicin is dangerous. Not dangerous half the time, not 50-50, but 100% of the time. Each and every time someone decides to put this stuff in their veins, they are putting not only themselves and their loved ones at risk, but the entire nation. I don't know what the future may hold, but I know that in the here and now, we cannot afford to be divided any longer. We must come together and stop the madness before it gets out of control. I pray my colleagues across the aisle will have the wisdom and courage to support this emergency legislation. Nothing less than the fate of the world depends on it.
I'm bringing you a message about a better future. It's here, now. This serum contains Promicin. Everyone knows what that is. It's the neurotransmitter that gives the 4400 their abilities. My name is Devin Moore, and I do this over in Freeway.
There's no stopping our message. Thousands have heard the call. They've taken Promicin. They have taken a stand for what they believe in. And the government has decided to take that choice out of our hands. They've enacted legislation making distribution of Promicin illegal. We cannot allow that to shake our resolve. They think passing laws will stop the spread of Promicin. They think hunting me down will end the movement. But they're wrong. They're already too late. The message is out, and now it's up to all of us to protect and to defend it. We will not allow ourselves to be bullied. Not by the government, not by anyone. Distributing Promicin is illegal. Taking Promicin is illegal. And now the government has passed legislation making any use of a 4400 ability illegal. It's discouraging news, yes, but it is not surprising. People are afraid of change, especially those in positions of power. But these abilities, they're part of a reality larger than any law, larger even than any government. The pivotal moments in human history are not marked in the passage of regulations. Rather, in the actions that make such limitations irrelevant. Laws can be changed. Promicin's here to stay. Promicin is now available to everyone who wants it. And humankind is taking its first steps toward a better and a brighter future. As in all great endeavors, there are those who must sacrifice so that the whole may benefit. But rest assured, their sacrifices will not be forgotten. Not forgotten by the family of the cured Alzheimer's patient. Not forgotten by the man reunited with his missing son. Not forgotten by African villagers whose crops have thrived in the worst drought in 40 years. Not forgotten by all those whose lives have been made better by those courageous enough to take Promicin. I can feel the surge of a rising tide, a movement to fight ignorance with knowledge, to believe in long-term good in spite of short-term opposition. More and more people are lending their voices in support of the right to take Promicin. And that's what it is, a right. Those who take the shots, they know the risks, and yet they still choose to take them. People make life and death decisions every day, and we must act and defend their right to make them. As we face sweeping legislation against the foundations of our movement, I'm more sure now than ever before that our path is the right one. All great movements, all great ideals face their most fearsome opposition on the cusp of becoming great truths. Although the task seems daunting, this is a fight we can win. It's a fight we must win. The news is filled with statistics. This many shots, this many dead. It's a shell game, a distracting pantomime of hiding the truth inside meaningless numbers. How many people benefited from the abilities of the original 4,400? And how many more will benefit from the abilities of those who have taken the shot? Why is it so easy to condemn me based on statistics, yet so difficult to accept the immeasurable good being done by Promicin positives? I know there are many out there who agree with what we're doing. And I am asking you, those who believe, find your voice, make it heard.